Happy Friday, Raw Food Rehab. Welcome to another episode of Foodie Friday. And as you just saw, the weather outside is frightful. It's not nearly as bad as they had forecasted that it was going to be, but people ask this question all the time. How am I going to stay warm in the winter when I eat a raw food diet? Right? I bet you've asked it, so it's a great question. And today I am going to give you a recipe. I'm going to share with you a recipe that's in my recently released book, The Raw Food Cleanse. We are going to be making stuffed cucumber boats with Ruby's Smokin' Hot tomato soup. What I always like to do is start off with getting all my ingredients together. What I have here are the ingredients for the sun and sea pate that I'm going to stuff the cucumbers with. And we've got 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice, soaking some sunflower seeds, some cilantro. There is 1 stalk of celery, 1 clove of garlic, and the recipe actually calls for almonds. I don't have almonds right now, so I have these jungle peanuts. And the little jackets that they're in kind of came loose, so I went ahead and basically just peeled them, and so they're peanuts. So we'll see how this does. Salt, pepper, nama shoyu, and this recipe calls for dulse or kelp. And this particular product I love. It has kelp with cayenne pepper. I like it hot. There's 2 organic cucumbers ready to go. And then here are our ingredients for Ruby's Smokin' Hot tomato soup. This is probably one of my favorite recipes. I've got some cashews soaking, sun-dried tomatoes, which are soaking so that they'll be soft and blend easily, 2 cups of cherry or grape tomatoes, which are my favorite. We've got about 1/4 of a cup of shallot, red pepper flakes, and a clove of garlic. There's also a little bit of raw agave nectar and cold pressed olive oil, and my secret ingredient. We have a gourmet grocer here in Tulsa. I mean, most places have them. You could definitely order this online. But this is applewood smoked salt. It's $1.75. This thing was completely full. And I wish we had smell-o-vision because it's the best smelling stuff you have ever smelled before. So it adds a smoky flavor to the soup. It's really awesome. So let's get to blending. Okay, I've just dumped all of the ingredients for the sun and sea pate right into the food processor. It's so easy. I mean, this is kind of what my goal is on Foodie Friday, is to just crank out recipes that you can just throw ingredients together. I mean, obviously you wouldn't have to have a food processor. You could do this in a blender. It would be just as effective. So let's crank it up. Oh, you know what? It helps when you plug it in, right? One of these days they are going to come out with smell-o-vision. I wish you could smell this. So we've just blended the ingredients together in the food processor. I stopped the food processor a couple of times to scrape down the sides. And this pate is really easy, very delicious. And you'll see what we're going to do with that in just a little bit. But now let's make the soup. Okay, I've got all the ingredients in the Vitamix ready to go, except what I'm going to do with these sun-dried tomatoes is I am going to pull the sun-dried tomatoes out, put them into the blender, and then we will add that soak water as needed to get the consistency that we want for the soup. So you're just going to want to pull these out and kind of drain them a little bit. I mean, if they're a little damp, that's fine. It's not a problem. And just start throwing them in. Okay, I'll show you the finished product here in just a second. Well, it looks to me like Foodie Friday has been another success. I want to show you what I have done with the pate and the soup, and it makes an amazing entree. Because of the cayenne pepper, just the little bit that's in the sun and sea pate, and then the crushed red pepper flakes that are in the Smokin' Hot tomato soup, you will not be cold in the wintertime with this meal. Now, the presentation is part of the fun. What I've done is I've taken cucumbers, and I have just, you can see I've just decoratively, I carved them out with this tool. This is like an old Pampered Chef item, and you just hollow out the interior of the cucumber, and then I stuffed it with the Sun and Sea pate, and I finished it off with, this is my little cookie dough scooper, and you can see I just put a little scoop of that on the top, and then have garnished this with some shredded carrot and chopped, minced probably, red bell pepper. So there is the delicious stuffed cucumber boats, and there is Ruby's Smokin' Hot tomato soup. You have to make this recipe if you like it spicy. If you don't, you can always cut back on the crushed red pepper, but I really think the spice is what makes it. So if you can handle it, go ahead and follow the recipe to a T. I did end up using, in the soup, I did end up using all the soak water of the sun-dried tomatoes. And you know, if you don't have enough soak water, you can always just add more water, just plain pure water. So I hope this has been helpful for you. This is super quick, super easy dinner or lunch. And the great thing is that Sun and Sea pate will keep great in your refrigerator for like, oh, probably 5 days. And then the soup would also keep well, but I've never had to keep it because it's always gone too quickly. So I'm getting ready to serve this to my husband and my dad for lunch, and they are tapping their foot waiting for it. So I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I will be back tomorrow with another video because we're gearing up for the big 28-day cleanse starting Monday. So I'll have a special episode tomorrow. See you. Bye.